Whoa, hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're finally checking out the Bandai Master-Grade Barbatos Lupus kit here. I'm looking forward to this one quite a bit. A little late, as unfortunately it took a little while to get to us here at USA Gundam Store. If any of you guys pre-ordered it from here, you know that unfortunately we just got it kind of a little late, but that means I got mine a little late as well. So I'm right there with you, but I'm really excited to check this one out. The MG Iron-Blooded Orphans lineup, although very short so far, has been fantastic with the original Barbatos. Awesome kit, and then the Vidar, even better. So I have high hopes for this one. I mean, everything that I've seen about it, it looks awesome. You kind of know what to expect from these kits at this point, but the Barbatos Lupus here looks fantastic. I will say too, the Barbatos Lupus in HG wasn't really my favorite form of the Barbatos, probably my least favorite, to be honest. But in MG form, I think they bulked it up a little bit more, and it just looks much better, I think, in this interpretation of the design. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into it for today's video. And so of course for this one, the box art there looks fantastic. I love that you can see this kind of creep in of the Hashmal's tail there. That looks pretty cool. You've got all this awesome weathering there on the Barbatos, the lighting effect there for the eye, just a bunch of really cool effects here throughout the illustration on the front. It's a pretty thick box, definitely a bit thicker than the original Master-Grade Barbatos box, as you might expect. Here on the side, we've got the vertical box art on one side and normal horizontal box art on the other side, indicating that this is the international release version. I talked about that before, but yeah, for the international releases, they're doing that. Also, the languages are different. Instead of Japanese and English, they're in English, Spanish, and French here. But on the bottom of the box, you can see we've got some images of the kit all built up, and painted there's our pilot figures as well. Here you can see in a couple different poses, talking about the markings, the weapons, the gimmicks of the Gundam frame there. I suppose we'll probably see a few new parts there for that compared to the original Barbatos, and there's a bunch more text about the Barbatos Lupus there. On the top of the box, talking about the weaponry, we have the arm guns, the sub-arms there on the backpack, the knees, not really a weapon there, the knees, but anyway, a feature. More weaponry and stuff that it's got there. I suppose for the Barbatos in particular, the knee absolutely could be and would be used as a weapon, I suppose. Inside here, we've got our sticker decal sheet. No water slides, unfortunately, but just the kind of typical sticker decals. There's a whole lot of them, though, in gray, white, and red. And then for the foil stickers here, we've got them just for the eyes, and then for those little green bits, I think go on the knees, maybe, but that's it, pretty minimal. But let's go ahead and check out the instruction manual here, which has the same box art there on the front, just cropped a little differently. On the back, a nice big size image of the built and painted sample model there. On the front inside page here is a couple of little stills from the anime and just walls of text. But yeah, everything there is in English, Spanish, and French. I might have switched the order of those, but anyway, about the new Barbatos dubbed the Wolf, releasing the limiters of the Alaya Vinanya system. I've never known how to pronounce that. History of the post-disaster MS development. So you can read all that if you're interested. There's a breakdown of everything that's included here, the naming of everything basically. The next page is going to be our parts list with a whole bunch of X's. So those are all going to be frame parts from the original kit that are not going to be used for this version. Otherwise, most of the other runners do seem it's going to be mostly new, of course, so then it's just going to go through the construction. It is going to be letting us know which runners are used for each section of the build, so I do like that. You can see there for the arms as well, so that's definitely a preferred feature of mine. If we go to the inside pages here, our MS tracks in PD, not piss drunks, of course, post-disaster. I don't know what you guys were thinking of, but there's that. There's the painting guide down here for the figure as well. The quick tip there about panel lining, of course, and over here on the next page, a breakdown of the Gundam Barbatos Lupus frame and some features of that, and the weaponry, and a little bit more about Mikazuki there as well. So after we're through all of the construction, once we get to the very end, here's the marking guide, so where all those stickers are going to be placed all around there on the kit, and that's it for the manual. So let's get into the runners, and once again, of course, there are no polycaps with this kit. Here we've got runners A1 and A2 that are joined there in the middle. You can pop those apart. This is just going to be for the Gundam frame, of course, here in this dark brownish gray. And that's going to continue for the next couple of runners. Basically, all the inner frame is first. Here with runner B, we've got two of those. Runners C1 and C2 are also joined together, and we've got two of those there as well. Runners D1 and D2 break it up a little bit here with some silver parts for the pistons. Runner D2 is going to be some wonderful molded gold that everybody loves so much. It does seem to be like high gloss there as well, but some gold accents for the frame. Then we're back to the dark brownish gray color for the inner frame here with runner E. Runner F there, some more of that. Runners G1 and G2 here, runner G2 being a copy copy of this kind of larger section of the runner there, minus the bits on the side and the top there. Then finally some more color here with runner H1 and then H2. H1 having white, red, yellow, and clear green. H2 being a copy of like half the runner plus some blue parts up there at the top for just a little bit of blue in there. Runner I1 and I2 here are split up like that, with runner I1 being here in white, and you can see there's our Mikazuki pilot figures there on there. Runner I2 is a couple of parts here in what is a dark gray, basically black kind of color. And we've got 2 of runner J for some more armor parts there in white, and lastly 2 of runner K for some more mostly weapons parts. Here's a few parts there for the body as well, but these are going to be some more parts in that dark gray, almost black kind of color. And that's it for the runners, so it looks pretty nice. As you might expect, a lot of great detail here on these parts. So let's go ahead and get it all put together and we'll check it out. Alright guys, then here is the kit all built up, very nice. I will say there's a couple of kind of sus seam lines on there that I'm not too happy about for like a modern day Master Grade in the year of our Lord 2026, but I will give it a pass just because I do think that this kit comes out looking so nice. Got a lot of the details and everything on there. With it being a Master Grade, of course, you know you're going to expect that, but as I've mentioned before, I do really like the small adjustments to the proportions with this kit compared to the HG design in particular. I think they bulked this one out a little bit more, and I do like the look of this one in comparison. But if you built the original Master Grade Barbatos or the Bale, you do have a pretty good idea of what to expect just in terms of like kind of overall how the kit is going to go together. But I gotta say, building a Master Grade IBO kit once again is a lot of fun. They're just really nice, really cool construction, and just a lot of fun to put together, yeah. So, and of course we have some cool accessories here as well, so let's go ahead and take a look at those. So our first couple of accessories here, we've got an action base adapter that's going to fit up underneath the waist section that you can just use with your Bandai action bases, and our 1/100 scale Mikazuki pilot figure here. Some really nice detail on that. As you can see, he's got his arm in the sling inside the jacket there. Pretty cool details. And then for hand options, we're just going to basically swap the fingers. The fingers are going to be fixed pose. The thumb is on a ball joint, and then we're just going to swap that, like I said. So you're going to have a set of open, expressive hands like this where the fingers are outstretched, a set of fingers that are meant for holding onto your weapons, and then a set of fingers for swapping out for making closed fists. So you have like those very long pointed bits. They're going to be sticking out of your closed fist options. So nice to have some good hand options. Then we've got the sword mace. Nothing really much to this. It's actually, to be honest, going to be very similar to what you had with the full mechanics version, except that I think you do have a little bit of two-tone color with that dark gray and then like the kind of dark brownish gray, whereas the full mechanics version probably is slightly different in terms of the detail, and it would have been all in one color. I don't remember too precisely, but obviously not going to have any other gimmicks or anything really going else on with this. Just to let you know about the overall length of this one, it's coming out to about 23 centimeters in total length there, and compared to the height of the Gundam itself, it's going to be coming up to just a little bit over the head. Then we got our set of Maraca twin maces here. These also don't have any extra gimmicks or anything, just basically a two-tone gray, and then you're just going to use those weapon holding hands that will just fit around this part here that's sort of ribbed there on the handle. That's where the hand fits nice and firmly on there. The little spiky bit at the end does not extend out of there or anything, although I'm not sure how easy that might be to modify if you wanted to. But when not held in the hand, actually we do have a set of two of these little connection bits here like this that can just basically clip onto the handle here. Then going around here on the back, you can see you can plug those into there. And this will also, you can use one of those clips to hold onto the sword mace as well if you wanted to. Probably should be a little bit more up, something like that anyway. So you can plug both of those onto the back of there, or one and the sword mace on the other side, or you can mix it up however you might want to. Lastly then, our set of 200mm arm guns. So as you might expect, these are going to plug onto the back of the arm, and then they can just rotate for when in use like that. Pretty cool design here for these. Again, some nice detail throughout. It looks like when building this, I got confused because it looks like you can see like those two little gaps there. It looks like this should be like pushed down on there more, but it's not. That's just how it's meant to be, apparently, although I do feel that it does look a bit odd. That's just gonna plug right in here to the back of the arm very simply, just like so. And then, like I said, yeah, when in use, you're just gonna rotate that around. And that's about it. That's all there is to it. Pretty easy. So that's it for all the weapons and everything. Just to talk a little bit more about some gimmicks of the kit itself, we'll go around here to the backpack and see these little flaps here will kind of open up like that there, and then the center part will also move up and down like that. But more importantly, these actually will then open up, And then on the inside of here, this will basically just fold out a little like manipulator subarm there like that. That can then hold on to your weapon. Basically, it's not really meant to be like a way of using the weapon here on the subarm, but just sort of a way of just kind of like using the subarm to bring out the weapon to make it easier for the Barbatos to then like kind of reach back and grip rather than having to reach all the way back and like take it off the back of the backpack, something like that. Anyway, kind of interesting gimmick and not really the most useful. I don't think, not something that I really plan on like actually utilizing that much, but it's a cool little gimmick because otherwise the backpack is going to be pretty plain. I mean, it's just kind of there. It doesn't really do a whole lot just to get this folded back up there and closed up. I mean, yeah, it's just like this simple little backpack here on the back, but it's cool that it has the kind of extra gimmick built into it. Up here on the head, of course, you do have a clear part for the eyes, but I went ahead and put the stickers on there just to make those stick out a bit more. The cockpit hatch will open up just basically by sliding this part forward here, and you can see our seated pilot figures down inside there. Right there, but some really nice detail here around on the head. Of course, the color separation with the red and yellow bits on the side. These kind of color parts are actually attached onto like those little like kind of collar pistons there, those parts of the frame. And then some nice color separation here on the shoulder as well with like the yellow accents of like the vent poking through, and then of course like the Tekkaden symbol there being a nice color separated part. There is a little bit more functionality to this in that you can kind of pull out this red part here, kind of separate that from the shoulder, and then that gives you a little bit more articulation to move that up and down. Otherwise, when it's like pushed in and locked into place, that won't move up and down there. So let me take a moment to point out the first of our offending seam lines here on the arm as well. On the forearm right there, right below the elbow, you've got a seam right there, unfortunately. Other than that, the other offending seam is going to be here on the side skirt. So you have this really cool side skirt section here that doesn't really do necessarily much of anything. But if you look on the top of there's going to be a seam line on the top of that part as well. Kind of don't know why they didn't just like turn that into a panel line or something at the very least, because here on the front side, they managed to avoid that by having this part being kind of open, and this part has like a raised detail bit there that kind of hides it. This is a cap piece that also covers it. So fortunately, it's like on the back side and not really super visible, but it is kind of a little bit disappointing that that wasn't handled in a different way. You have some nice color separation here with the yellow vents, the skirt armor and the knees. You do have that reflective sticker underneath the clear green part here at the knee as well, so that catches the light and kind of shines nice and brightly there. This front bit of ankle armor is kind of interesting, how this can move up and down, kind of plenty out of the way. This back part of the foot can also move a little bit like this, not really too sure why it really needs to, but it can. Up underneath the feet, some nice detail there with the toes. The toes will not point down, but they will point up a little bit individually too, mind you. So that's kind of cool. But this whole front part of the foot can move up and down like that. You can also, of course, then rotate that side to side and all that as well. Last thing I'll point out is just the knee bend, because you have this part here at the back of the leg that kind of moves when you bend the knee. So that kind of goes and gets out of the way for you to be able to get more of a knee bend there. Basically like almost a full bend there at the knee, which does look really nice. And so unfortunately, one thing that this kit obviously does not have is an action base, and I would definitely recommend getting an action base with this, as that's just going to free the kit up for a lot more posing options. Even though with the weapons and accessories that we have, there's plenty of cool poses that you can do just keeping it on the ground, but having an action base is nice, so it's just something I would recommend to pick up along with this kit if you're going to be picking it up. But yeah, the really nice range of articulation that you have with this kit, combined with some really cool weapon options between the arm guns, the maraca maces, the sword mace. It's kind of a little bit unconventional, as is kind of often the case with Iron-Blooded Orphans. The weapons that you have certainly are a unique aspect of this kit, and that's just kind of different than the standard, beam rifle, beam saber, shield kind of combination that you have a lot with, especially a lot of main Gundams. This one definitely spices things up a bit by giving you kind of a different range of weaponry to use. That said, this being the third Iron-Blooded Orphans Master-Grade kit that we've had out so far, I have to say I think the Vidar is still my favorite, but I do really like this one a lot. As I mentioned before, I like the adjustments to the proportions and details on this version. This is definitely my favorite version of the Barbatos Lupus to date. That's for sure. I like this a lot more than the HG, and definitely better than the full mechanics kit as well. So if you already have the full mechanics kit and you're wondering, do I really want to get the MG? Is there really that much more that I'm going to get out of the MG that I didn't get with the full mechanics kit? I would say yes. I mean, the full mechanics kits, I think, they were great for their time, but my experience with, this rather short MG line thus far, the MG kits just kind of blow the full mechanics kits out of the water. And there's certainly some like nice aspects to the full mechanics line of IBO kits, and there's some charm there, and certainly a number of releases that we've not yet seen in Master Grade and probably won't ever see in Master Grade. So there's still some great options, but I would say anything that we've got a Master Grade for, or that we might get a Master Grade for in the future, I mean, it's safe to assume that the Master Grade is going to be like the far superior version. Objectively speaking, you know, you might have your own opinions as to which version you like the best for different reasons, but ultimately this kit is fantastic, exactly what I expected from it. You know, I wasn't, you know, surprised that it was a great kit. I knew it was going to be, but certainly a lot of fun to put this one together. Definitely check it out, guys. If you want to check it out for yourself, check the link in the video description to USA Gundam store. We've got lots of great Gunpla and more there on the website, so check all that stuff out. And thanks so much for checking out the video here today as well. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, and make sure that you're subscribed if you're not subscribed yet. I really appreciate all your guys' support. I'll see y'all later. Bye.